Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Radium and today I have another Terraria Calamity mod showcase for all of you, in which I'm going to be using the brand new DRAEDON weapons. For those who didn't know, the Rust and Dust update added brand new weapons with a unique charging system, so you need to use the weapons and then charge them in these stations, which is very strange. I'll get used to it soon enough, but it's a really cool mechanic, and I want to go through all of the weapons added. With that said, let's get started. Starting off, we have the Gauss Dagger. I'm using the Oryx Tesla, Demon Shade Armor, my apologies, so it's going to be a little bit stronger than it should be, but that's okay. So here it does 72 damage with fast speed and extremely strong knockback. And let's see what it does. I'm using the improved dummy from YAFK, but even better than that would be the super dummy, I believe. So it's very hard to gauge how strong these weapons are, unfortunately, because there's so many like set bonuses going on. So that's the improved dummy, but I'd rather use the super, which summons a dummy which even summons can attack. So it seems to create, it creates this really cool particle effect over the enemy that seems to do damage on its own. That's really cool. That's really cool in my opinion. I don't know how strong it is, but the enemy I'm going to be using to test out these items on will be King Slime. So let's do a practical test of it then. It's going to be extremely hard to gauge, but let's see if we can get that effect going. Oh god. Okay, he's gone down all the way down here. Okay, now he's on the floor. Okay. And I forgot the shadow debuff. Oh god, this is not going the best, is it? Let's give this one more try, and if it doesn't work, I'm just going to go insane. Yeah, that's really cool. It like follows him and does damage all the time. That's a really nice effect. Although King Slime is probably not the best bet from what I'm gathering here to do for these tests. It's a really cool weapon though. Not really that effective, but it's definitely something. The next weapon we have to judge is called the Pulse Pistol. It's a magic weapon, does 53 magic damage, and it doesn't use any mana, but instead it will use the charge. And the charge does run out pretty quickly, like that sword from those fights, it runs down most of its charge. So the Pulse Pistol, whoa, okay, it fires this beam, which looks incredibly cool. I don't know what it does, but let's see. Okay, so it's a non-piercing beam. You're looking at about 250 DPS, so nothing special. But against King Slime, I'm guessing it'll be much better than the other options. What? Okay, that's very cool. So it tags the enemy multiple times, and can pierce, like, basically. So it's not amazing, but it is a pretty cool weapon, to say the least. Okay, guys, the next weapon is a summon, which looks very exciting. It does 44 summon damage. You place it down, it's this little dude. I don't know exactly what he does, but you can get a bunch of them in. They don't seem to be all that effective, but if we test them out on the super dummy, what do? Okay, they spit on them. Okay. Okay, that's actually really strong. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure this is a pre-hard mode summon as well. That's crazy. Okay. If we test this on King Slime, how do? These all seem to do so much better in applied DPS situations, which is very strange, but you know, it's fine. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just tank for a moment. It doesn't seem that good, but it's definitely not the worst. This would be a very good accompaniment summon for an enemy that's quite long. Say the Eater of Worlds, or even just like the Slime God for the sake of crowd control. But overall, it's pretty nice. Oh yeah, it's also important to note that weapon doesn't use any charge. You can use this one infinitely, which is again really exciting. Okay, the next weapon is a taser. It does 52 range damage, and let's just see what it does. Oh my god. That's so cool. It's a genuine taser. Okay. And it leaves an electrocution debuff on them as well. We're looking at pretty good DPS for a pre-hard mode weapon. Let's see. Oh my god, yeah, this is amazing. It's very fun as well. Only issue is if you miss, you have to go through the entire cycle, which is a bit of an issue with it. Like, for example, if I miss that, then you have to go through... Oh, god. But there are uses for it, because you can just drag it behind you and then it can just tag enemies endlessly. Overall, another cool item, probably not that practical, but I feel like if you got this in one of the DRAEDON caves, then you would not be disappointed. The tracking disc is a rogue weapon, which does 46 damage. It's very slow, but it fires a disc that seems to shoot a beam, which is very cool. The projectile I don't think actually does damage, unfortunately. Let me get rid of that. But it shoots these beams that do damage slowly. It does more damage the more you use, but I don't want to use too much, because I don't want to run it out of charge. If we fight the King Slime here, let's see. Oh yes, this one's actually good against it. Crazy. Yes, doing alright. It's dealing with the smaller enemies really well, in fact. So, and this is a weapon composed of aerialite, so it looks pretty good, honestly. I'll use this as well to get the adrenaline boost. And this honestly seems like a pretty solid option, all things considered. Okay guys, we are now moving on to hard mode weapons. I've discovered for these you don't actually need charge on these weapons, you can just use them as is. This one, the frequency manipulator, seems to shoot a projectile which splits into 4 beams and then hits the dummy, which is really cool. It's kind of slow, but you can just hold it down. And it looks pretty efficient. I don't know how it'll do against a boss. Nowadays, I'm going to use a slightly more powerful boss, I think. I'm going to use the Eye of Cthulhu as an example boss. Just as it's slightly easier to demonstrate the power. So, if we use it here, then it'll shoot the beam at the eye, and then split these homing projectiles which guaranteed hit, which is very good. Yeah, overall this weapon is really strong. Okay guys, looking into the crafting recipe, maybe this thing isn't so great after all, considering this uses post-mechanical boss items to craft, and it took a while to defeat the Eye of Cthulhu, so this one probably isn't your best bet. But on to the next weapon, the galvanizing glaive. It spins, it shoots these small green projectiles which look really nice. I'll place a dummy here and we'll test it out. Okay, we're looking at a much stronger weapon here by the looks of things. Potentially anyways. It uses that same flux circular damage effect that the first weapon did, the Gauss Blade. And yeah, it's doing really good damage, honestly. If we use this for the Eye of Cthulhu, I'm pretty sure the shots don't home or anything, but they do pierce. And if you actually tag the eye with the main spear, it does a lot of damage. This seems like a genuinely viable weapon. So yeah, that's not a bad one. The next weapon is called the Gatling Laser. It is a magic weapon with insanely fast speed. And oh my god. Okay, this thing might be my favourite. What? Wait. This is a... Okay, so this is a weapon you can get after you defeat the Ravager, I'm pretty sure. And it does 7,000 DPS. That's insane. This is crazy. This thing is genuinely so good. Only issue I'm seeing is it doesn't have that good range because it wasn't hitting the Eye of Cthulhu. But this is crazy. I might need to start fighting slightly stronger enemies. The next weapon is called the Gauss Pistol. It doesn't really look all that special. It's another magic weapon, 246 magic damage. I forgot to test the DPS, so I'll do it after the fight. What does it do? Whoa, it's got like a delay. That's really strange, actually. I can't tell whether it's hitting, but I don't feel like I'm aiming. And it just died. This is a really weird weapon to use. It's like really delayed. I personally very much prefer the Gatling Laser in this one. The next weapon is the Gauss Rifle. This is a range damage with average speed and a lot of damage. So it looks something like a sniper maybe. I retract that statement. Oh my god. This looks incredible. The shot it fires is absolutely massive. And in terms of the damage it does, it's pretty good. Let's see. Our only issue is the shots don't have that good range, but it's still a very cool weapon regardless. And good for crowd control as the shots have a small splash radius. The next weapon is called the Hydraulic Volt Crusher. This is a melee weapon with 230% hammer power. What? What is this? Oh, it's like a jackhammer. Oh no, I made a mistake. I can't switch item. I cannot switch item, so I'm gonna have to back out the game and load back in. So let's fight the improved dummy for a start. I'll spawn the Earth Cthulhu in anyways. It doesn't look like it does damage. Oh god, this is really odd. Does it do damage? It just seems like a really good hammer. And then once you stop firing, it's just this. So this is a pretty useless item in my opinion, not one you should seek out or make. The next weapon to review is called the Matter Modulator. It's a ranged weapon, and what it does is shoots a barrage of these shots, which don't seem to do damage to regular enemies, or like the dummy. But against the Earth Cthulhu, what does it do? Nothing. What? Oh, so hang on, I think I need to shoot it through. So you need to hit solid materials for it to do damage. That's really strange. You have to bounce it off materials to do damage. And it doesn't home, so this is probably another mediocre weapon, to be honest. You can't really DPS test it, it's not doing anything. And if I just sit here, it's so difficult to aim. Even though I'm just shooting down, it's still difficult to use, so I wouldn't recommend using this one either. Next up, we have two more summon weapons. First up, we have the Mounted Scammer. No, the Scanner, my apologies. It summons these little things above you, which is really cool. They seem to be like turrets. And oh my god, this is a cool summon weapon. The summoned weapons seem really good and the rest of them seem quite subpar, honestly. If we put this up against the Earth Cthulhu, how does it do? Yeah, this is such a cool weapon. Look how much damage it's doing. This is an incredibly cool weapon. Looks like something that would work for other classes as well, not just summoners. And now we've done that, let's move on to the Pulse Turret Remote. Okay, this one's a Sentry, which is not a good start. That's a pretty cool effect though. And if we use it against this boy, let's see what it does. Okay, it's a pretty cool Sentry at that though, even though it's kind of useless. Still quite cool. Yeah, it's doing something at least, but just not enough to be too significant. So overall, it is another weapon, just nothing special amongst all of them. Then the next weapon we have to review is the System Bane. This is a rogue weapon, which can be stacked. I have 9,999 of them, which I'm not supposed to have. Let's see what they do. Okay, they slowly sink through platforms. Okay, that's a bit strange. Let's see what they do though. Oh, and they shoot. Oh my god, they shoot lasers. That's incredibly good. Let's see what kind of damage we can get with this. Oh my god. This thing's incredible. We're looking at 12,000 damage per second, 13,000. Oh my god, this is one of my favourite weapons so far, in all honesty. That's incredible. With that said, the next up weapon is the Heavy Laser Rifle. I'm reviewing these weapons in pairs, just because it's easier to gauge them that way. So with this weapon, it does, again, this is a weapon that does about 5,000, 4,500 DPS, which is incredible. It seems to do multiple hits every single shot as well, which is confusing to say the least, but I'm sure it's effective. If we turn it to night again, let's see how it does against the Earth Cthulhu. Free shots it, nice. So this is a powerful weapon. These are the kind of weapons we want from this, like, event, I guess you could call it. And now I'm once again going to be upgrading our enemies. I'm going to be fighting from now on Retonator and Spasmatism. Okay guys, the next weapon is the Plasma Caster. This is a post-Providence weapon, which is a massive upgrade. It does 2087 magic damage. It has 2 different attacks apparently, which is really cool. Okay, and then we have the Pulse Dragon as well. I'll be reviewing both of these as they're like the same tier weapons. So starting off with the Pulse Dragon, let's see. This thing's doing 12,000 damage, and when you go turbo mode, it does less damage but fires more frequently. Okay, that's fair enough. If we put this up against the twins, this is Death Mode Twins by the way. It does a lot of damage per shot. It's kind of a slow projectile, so I could see that sucking in certain situations. But it's pretty good here regardless. And then when you're up against a fast moving foe like Spasmatism here, the spammy projectiles work really well. So it's a nice versatile weapon to use, really fun as well. The Pulse Dragon is something of a flail. It does 648 melee damage, and let's just see what it does. Whoa. Only issue with it is it seems to be stuck at a certain range, but that's okay. Does quite good damage and spams these little orbs everywhere, which is very cool. If you're using this, I don't know how practical it's going to be here, but it seems like it'll be alright. It feels very clunky, I'll say that much. It's not a nice weapon to use in my opinion. But it's decimating both of Spasmatism and... I can't even speak. Spasmatism and Retonator. And they're already dead by the time I could pronounce their name. Jesus. So overall, that's another really nice weapon. Maybe not post-Providence tier. The Plasma Caster, on the other hand, though, is very good. The next 2 weapons are a summon and a rogue weapon. Snake Eyes is the first one, which does 78 damage. Okay. It summons these little orbs above you, which has a really trippy particle effect. If we put this against the improved dummy, that's a really, really cool weapon. Jesus, that's really cool. How do you craft this one again? Let me check. This is crafted with Eula Bloom as well. Okay, I retract that statement because this does not seem good enough for that. But if we put it up against these enemies, let's see how it does. Yeah, this is not Eula Bloom tier in my opinion, but it's still pretty good. I'm not even going to play this full fight out just because it takes a while. But you're looking at like 1000 DPS with a summon, which is not good, considering you've got access to like the elemental axe at the time, and those kind of caliber weapons. So overall, this one looks really cool, but it's not that good. The Wave Pounder is a rogue weapon with snail speed, 49 rogue damage, and is crafted from Eula Bloom, so that's a very weird description already. Let's see what it does. Oh my god. Okay, it's very difficult to aim, but it creates a massive explosion, or like a wave as it says. 2000 damage for a Eula Bloom weapon is not good, but let's see. Yeah, it's not good enough to be a Eula Bloom weapon. It's barely doing well against the mechs. But, I mean, it's a very cool effect, I'll say that much. And no second attack either, so it's just this. Again, that's kind of disappointing, honestly. So, because neither of these weapons were that good. But there's still hope for the next weapons coming up shortly. The next weapon is called the Phase Slayer. It's crafted from Auric Tesla bars, which means this weapon is definitely going to be amazing. I can't tell what it does yet, but I think this one genuinely does need charge, unfortunately. So I'll need to go to a charging station for this one. I didn't realise how long the better weapons take to charge, so what I'm going to do in the meantime is use the plasma grenades. These are rogue weapons which do almost 17,000 damage. Oh god damn it, that little turret is still there. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, that is a really cool explosion effect, like very comical. Looks very cool in my opinion. And you're looking at a good supply of damage there for once, which is a first. And it literally shreds through the twins like they're made out of butter. Oh my god. We're going to need a stronger enemy to test these boys out on. Maybe the Devourer of Gods is a good comparison from here on out. Okay, let's actually give this a test against the Devourer of Gods. Okay. So what kind of damage are we looking at? If I can get a hit on the head. 4% removed in a single blow. Mad, it's pretty strong. I won't be defeating the Devourer of Gods for sure, but it's pretty fun. Does good damage, just slightly lackluster in some senses. But that's good against the body, definitely. Okay, now let's fight the final form. I just want to see if it can shred through like I want it to. As these are Auric Tesla-esque weapons, so they should have no problem with this kind of thing. Yeah, no homing capabilities is a bit of an issue. But it's okay. When it's hitting, it's doing big damage. Jesus. Okay, my man's moving fast now. Oh god, okay. Okay, I may actually end up dying because I'm wearing a terrible armor set. That's okay. Oh, no, we did it. Okay, so they're all right. They're nothing special. And now it's finally charged, so let's use the Phase Slayer. 21,000 magic damage now. No, melee damage, my apologies. Okay then. It's literally a laser pointer. Ooh, where? Okay, so if you swing it in a certain way, it shoots a beam. That's really cool. But the beam can only go so fast. That's a cool effect. Okay. Let's try this one out on the Devourer of Gods. And see how it does. Oh, it's so strange to use. Because you have to keep it going at a very specific speed, otherwise it will just cancel out. But the weapon itself is not bad either. As a true melee, it's definitely usable. Does big damage even against the segments of the Devourer of Gods. I can't really go that close, unfortunately, because I've got death mode on, but doesn't seem that practical, this one, unfortunately. The next weapon is called the Pole Warper. It is a summon, which surrounds you. It's... oh, this one looks really cool, actually. Okay, let's see what it does. They have a very confusing flight pattern, but these are, once again, I believe, an Auric Tesla tier weapon. So, yep, I am correct. It's a very cool looking weapon, but I don't know how effective it'll be on the Devourer of Gods. Yeah, they're not actually fast enough to keep up with it properly. That's kind of embarrassing, honestly. These weapons aren't honestly that great, considering the time you're supposed to have them in the game. Like, at this point, you have access to, like, the Arc of the Cosmos, the Subsuming Vortex, the Vivid Clarity, weapons like that, and these kind of just fall short, honestly. Okay, the last two weapons are the Pulse Rifle and the Tesla Cannon, which both look really cool. Starting off with the Pulse Rifle, I can't speak. It does 9200 range damage. It's slow, but it's good. I've still got these dudes active. Let's see what kind of DPS you're looking at. Okay, this one's really good. You're looking at anywhere from 350 to 400,000 DPS. That's nice. Okay, when used against the Devourer of Gods, instantaneous tracking is really good. Yeah, this one's great. It's kind of hard to aim just because of how slow it is. But apart from that, it is very good. I don't know what's with these weapons. None of them feel that good to use, in my opinion. That's probably going to be an unfavourable one, but that's just how I feel about these weapons. Okay, the Tesla Cannon's next up, and I believe this is the last weapon I have to review. I don't think DRAEDON's thing adds that much in terms of content. Well, weapon-wise at least. But it fires this massive beam, which is incredibly slow. This one has snail speed, so... and it does similar damage, but... nah, never mind, it's a lot less damage. So it does, like, anywhere from 120,000 to 200,000. But it seems to have a unique effect when it comes to the doggo. It seems to split and get a guaranteed hit on the head, which is really nice. Okay, this one is very nice. But again, the issue is this is Auric Tesla tier weaponry, and it doesn't feel like it would stack up to the Subsuming Vortex and the Vivid Clarity. It's just that they're all slightly lackluster, I guess. I mean, not by a lot, but they're still just not that fun to use in my opinion. With that said, though, that's pretty much it for this review. I'm very sorry that this is what the content was for today. Quite frankly, I didn't want this to be the case, but I cannot get rid of Heroes mod. There's a glitch in Tmod Loader, so I'm going to reinstall it, but I just didn't want to take the risk of losing my characters. So right now, I've got these mods active and I cannot get rid of them, so the series is going to have to wait a little bit longer. Additionally, I just wanted to mention I am taking a small break because I am going on holiday tomorrow. So there may not be that much content. I've tried making additional videos, but I've just run out of ideas. So with that said, I have to say thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.